Hi everyone, welcome back to the Top Drive show. My name is Dimitri. I'm a community manager for Top Drives, and we've got another reveal or review for you today of the next prize car, which is the Jaguar XJR-9. And it's a very interesting car, very powerful in the game as well as in real life. So I've actually got two people to talk about it today. First, we'll have Will, who will give you a quick rundown of the history of the car in real life. And then Tim will dedicate some time to talk about car's performance and compare it to other cars in its class as well. I hope you guys are excited about these Tri Series and the newest update that we've just released for Top Drives, the 13.1 challenges update, which was released on Tuesday. So we don't have any challenges yet for you, but we will keep you updated. They should be coming very, very soon, and they will utilize this new sort of format and systems that we have introduced in this update. But for now, let's talk about the XJR-9. So I'm giving word to Will. Will?
Thanks, Dimitri. The XJR-9. So this was Jaguar's successful attempt to win at Le Mans. Back in the early 80s, Jaguar decided it wanted to stop Porsche's supercar racing reign and re-establish itself as a serious race team again, just like it had been in the 1950s with the D-Type. Jaguar enlisted Tom Walkinshaw Racing to build them a Group C car, the top-level sports car category at the time. This was a spectacular time for sports car and prototype racing, as not only was each car incredibly fast, but they were also diverse. There were Mercedes Saubers with turbocharged V8s, Peugeots with V10s, Porsches with turbocharged flat sixes, and Mazdas with rotary engines. Jaguar and TWR's solution was to plonking massive, naturally aspirated V12 into a carbon fibre chassis. So despite the honking great engine, it would always be near the minimum weight for the series. The first car produced between the Jaguar and TWR tie-up was the XJR-6 back in 1986. But by 1988, the car had evolved into the XJR-9, the one we're talking about today. And it had a 7-litre version of Jag's V12, producing 750 brake horsepower and 611 foot-pounds of torque. On its debut in 1988, the XJR-9 won outright. Then later that year, Jaguar achieved its goal and won at Le Mans. Sharing that Le Mans win with Jan Lammers and Andy Wallace was driver Johnny Dumfries. Sadly, Johnny Dumfries died earlier this week at the age of just 61. What made the XJR-9 so extremely fast, over 240 miles per hour fast, was that as well as being powerful and really lightweight, it was aerodynamic. Its unique look produced incredible amounts of downforce and not a lot of drag. See, before the Jaguar, all Group C cars were long. The Porsche 962 and the 956 even had these really long tails, whereas the Jag had this short cut-off back end with a weird rear wing poking out the back. It also had these funny-looking rear wheel spats to reduce turbulence around the back wheels. But not only did they reduce drag, they actually increased downforce as well. So the XJR-9 isn't just special because it won at Le Mans. It's one of the most successful cars from the most thrilling era that sports car racing has ever seen, and that makes it extraordinary. So let's see how it performs in the game. Take it away, Tim.
Thanks for that, Will. Fascinating. All right, let's see what this thing can do in the world of top drives. First, let's put it against the old Moby Dick, which you'll probably come against a few times if you don't have one yourself. It's got a higher RQ, the Jaguar XJR-9, only really losing out on the 0 to 60. So let's just put this on the back half of the Nürburgring and just watch what happens. Now, you can see that tiny advantage of the 0 to 60 playing out at the beginning, and then the Jaguar XJR-9 with better handling and better MRA pulling away quite convincingly. Now, in the 60 to 100 realm of MRA, which is what players often talk about, technically the XJR-9 comes in at about 112, which is pretty good. Moby Dick only managing 99 or so. So, alright, that's no problem. But let's try something a bit more challenging. Let's put it against the Pagani Zonda Revolution, which is a higher RQ car, still has rear-wheel drive and slick tyres, has a bigger advantage in 0 to 60, How is that going to play out on a straightforward fast circuit? So again, the 0 to 60 advantage plays out, but then look at that. Absolutely incredible MRA. The XJR-9 opened up a very convincing distance and takes it by really quite a long way. Now, that might seem a bit more surprising given that the Zonda Revolution has a higher RQ. Let's bring up the benchmarking table here. All right, so as you can see, against most of the opponents that are meaningful to compare here, the figures are blue, which means the XJR-9 is winning. And in particular, against the Pagani Zonda Revolution, it's winning on everything except the hairpin. In fact, I usually have the car park here in the benchmarking table, but it beat it in the car park as well. And then it started to look really weird, like, really, this car beats it everywhere and it's a lower RQ? How does that work? So it does have little vulnerability in places like hairpin where the 0 to 60 advantage is really important. But still, that does beg the question, doesn't it? Like, how does the RQ come out like that? Now, it's to do with the way that we generate the RQ, right? We run the cars on a representative set of tracks, and we rank them for dry asphalt, wet asphalt, and off-road. Whichever one they do the best in, that gets way, way higher weight in terms of how we determine the RQ. And then whichever one it does worst in, almost no weight contributes to the RQ ranking at all. And the middle one, not very much, but a little bit. And the way this works is that the Jaguar XJR-9 actually doesn't have any kind of traction controls or ABS, whereas the Pagani Zonda Revolution does. And so the Jaguar XJR-9 does win on the majority of dry asphalt tracks, but does a lot worse in the rain and especially off-road. And that actually makes the difference in the RQ calculation, so that the XJR-9 comes out a bit less, even though, of course, you're only going to be using it whenever you can on dry asphalt. So it makes it very efficient, and that's the kind of thing in top drives that makes something a real specialist for its RQ. If it's terrible in the places that you don't want to use it, gives it all the more efficiency in the places that you do want to use it. So that is making it pretty tasty. All right, now just for fun, Johnny suggested let's put it against a Jaguar from about 30 years before, the 1957 Jaguar Mark I. Now, you might ask yourself, how many points are you going to win by on a fast circuit against a common? Is it more or less than 250? That's usually the question. The cute thing about this is you see that little tight part of the curve. By the time the XJR-9 comes back, there it is. There's the Mark I, still coming around a little bit sooner than you might have thought. But in terms of the points difference, it is over 250. Yeah, 339. Okay, not too surprising. That's a very convincing victory. But nice to see the old Jaguar coming back where the two corners overlap. So, yeah, in conclusion, really one of the top cars in the game. If I just go in, you can do this yourself, you go in the all cars filter and take a look at really everything that's rear-wheel drive and slick. You can see, really, there's not much up there, right? There's the Peugeot 905B, which has not been released yet. Peugeot 908 HDI FAP, not been released yet, and the same RQ at 96. And then the only one above it is the Pagani Zonda Revolution, which, as we just saw, despite being a slightly higher RQ, actually loses out in most dry asphalt tracks. So right now, this is one of the most competitive cars in the world of top drives. So I think it's going to be cars from 2001 to beat this. I don't have too many of those. Do they have the good old TVR tomorrow? I had that for a very long time. So we'll have to see how this goes. I'm going to be trying very hard. Expect you will be too. Good luck and enjoy.
Well, thank you so much, Will and Tim, for coming along today. Guys, if you liked this video, if you found it helpful, please do not forget to give us a thumbs up as we are reaching the 10,000 subscribers mark on our YouTube channel, which is really, really awesome. Nice progress in just a year that we've been around. For now, I'm wishing you good luck in these tri-series. I hope you guys can get your hands on this special car. Don't forget, as usual, to subscribe to our channel and follow all of our social links as well. And good luck, and I will see you in the next episode of the Top Drive Show.